Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. If you're looking for jewelry that makes an impact on your self-care routine and your style, Empowerography would love to offer you a discount code to one of our exclusive partners, Quartz & Canary Jewelry and Wellness Company. Please use code EMPOWER15 to receive 15% off upon checkout at www.quartzandcanary.com. Quartz & Canary is truly the place where spirituality meets style. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Paola Pietri. She is a certified yoga teacher based in Florida. How are you doing this morning, Paola?
Hello, Brad. How are you doing today? I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
I'm doing very well. And thank you so very much for taking the time to be here today and making the time to show up as a guest on the podcast and share your story and your journey. I'm really looking forward to jumping in and speaking with you and sharing your story. So I just want you to know that I appreciate you taking the time and I appreciate you. So Paola, you are a certified yoga teacher who's been practicing yoga now for almost 7 years, but you also became certified to teach at the age of 43. And you're also a very firm believer in it never being too late to find and follow your passion. Can you speak to us a little bit about that belief of it's never too late and what that means to you on a personal level?
Well, Brad, I believe mindset is everything. Like you mentioned before, I started yoga at 41. By 43, I just was so much in love with the practice that I decided to get certified, knowing that I really wanted to pursue teaching part of just something that I wanted to share. You know, I wanted to share with everyone I knew, with the world, that anything and everything is possible as long as you have the mindset. I believe that if you have the mindset that you're not too old, that it all really depends on how you feel. I guess that's what I'm trying to get to. You know, like you can be 60 years old and feel like you're 20, or you can be 20 and feel like you're 60.
Right.
So it all depends. Yeah, it has to do with your mindset. So my mentality like I said, when I started yoga was like, okay, maybe I'm a little too old, but you know what? This is something I want to pursue. And then as I started practicing, you know, I started digging deep into who I really am. And I noticed changes not only in my physical body, but in my mental body. And with that mentality, I basically just went ahead and I'm doing things, put it this way, at this point that I never thought I was going to be doing when I first started. So I believe that mindset can get you to wherever you want to go, to whatever you want to do.
I love that because people they get so hung up on that number and say, well, I'm too old to start that, or no, I can't, it's too late in life. And I'm a firm believer in that as well, that it's never too late. If you want to do something, if you put your mind to it and you put the work in, you can do it no matter how old you are.
And you know what? And I have students in my class that are on their 60s and 70s. And quite honestly, I really admire people who, like I said, who don't let age define who they are. And that's, to me, really important. You know, if you're letting your age define who you are and you have that mindset, by all means, you know, you won't be able to accomplish anything. And you know what? I heard once, you know, that we live up to 120. So I'm thinking, okay, if I started at 41, teaching at 43, now I'm almost 48. I still have a long way to go.
You do.
So I feel like a little kid. So yes.
Beautiful. Well, I applaud you for that, for diving in and doing it. And you are a testament and proof that it's not too late to start anything. You can do anything you want in this life.
Totally. Yeah, just have the mindset, and of course, you know, the mindset and put the work. And, you know, I guarantee you're going to get to wherever you want to go.
For sure. Paola, what were you doing before you decided to pursue your passion in life of yoga?
Well, I used to have my own business. My husband is a general contractor. So we had a small store and we used to sell Italian and Spanish kitchens, bathrooms, and pretty much everything for the house. And we used to install it as well. And while I was working, that's when I decided that I wanted to pursue yoga and get my certification, not thinking obviously that I was going to become really a teacher. I was thinking it more to improve and grow my practice. So it was more of a personal goal. And then once again, obviously, I changed that into, sharing it with, with the world. But yes, I used to be a business owner and decided that that's not really what made me happy.
Yeah.
And even when I was making really good money, I decided just to follow my passion and follow my dreams and close the business down. Told my husband, I said, I can't do this no more. And, and then of course, the rest is history. So
as they say.
Yeah, exactly. As they say.
What led up to the decision for you to become a certified yoga instructor? I mean, I know you jumped in and you loved yoga and you did it for 2 years before you started getting into teaching, but what inspired you to go that direction?
Well, quite honestly, Brad, I mean, I've always been the kind of person, always been really active. I used to work out back in the younger years. I was a ballerina, so I'm a former ballerina.
Okay.
And ever since I did ballet, I never found a physical activity that was really something that I really, really enjoyed doing.
Right.
So like I said, I was doing, going to the gym, doing a little bit of weightlifting. But I just got to a point where I thought it was just too physical, too, not fake. I don't want to say it's fake, but it was just that I was just working on my physical body. And I was looking for more of a deeper connection to myself, my inner strength. I was looking for more of a spiritual practice. And obviously for so many years, I heard, yoga. And quite honestly, the first time I tried it, didn't really like it. Even like the second or third time, I was not really hooked to it. But that's the reason why, I was just looking for more of my inner practice, a connection to myself. I was looking for internal growth. And I found that through the practice of yoga.
So what would you say then for you is the most inspiring or exciting part about being a yoga instructor?
Oh God, I mean, that's a hard one. I would say meeting, I mean, there's so many beautiful things and they're exciting about being a yoga instructor, at least, from my personal experience. But I believe meeting and connecting with people, being of service, helping people heal through the practice of yoga. I mean, I have found so many people that not only they take the practice of yoga, which is the way you really should take it on the physical level, but on the spiritual level, I mean, yoga helps you connect to your inner self, your inner strength, and helping people finding that connection is just priceless. So yes, I just love meeting people from all different nationality, backgrounds, ages, body types. It's just pretty amazing. I feel like you can create an impact in people's life, and that just makes me really, really happy.
Now, of course, I mean, yoga is very physical, but would you say that the spiritual component of that is just as important, if not more important than the physical aspect of it in terms of yoga?
In terms of yoga, I believe, yes, I believe they're both important. The good thing about yoga is that it helps you connect, obviously, and that's what really yoga is about, is that mind-body connection. And you start understanding that as the time goes, as the more you practice, the more you understand that body-mind connection. A lot of people start yoga because of the physical part of it. They think that it's just flexibility and balance. But it gets to a point where you start understanding that yoga goes above and beyond. Not to get really technical about it, but I mean, the asanas, which is what people see, is only one of the 8 limbs of yoga. And of course, it goes into pranayama, which is, your breath work. But going back to your questions, yes, I mean, the spiritual part is something that you you develop through the practice. And I believe, in my personal experience, they're both important because knowing and understanding that we are not only a physical body, okay, we're above and beyond. I mean, the way I look at it, and I always like to say me and speak for myself.
Right, of course.
Because I don't want to get people offended. When you start talking about spirituality, some people get offended.
Yeah.
So on my personal level, I believe that obviously you get that deeper connection to not only yourself, to God, universe, whatever you want to call, but you start understanding that we are all connected. We're connected to the universe. We're connected to the animals. We're connected to, the air and everything that is surrounding us. So you start getting a deeper understanding of who you truly are, not only as a physical body, but as a spirit, as a soul, as a gift from the universe, if you want to call it like that. But yes, I mean, I think they're both really, really important in the yoga practice.
I mean, I guess everyone's take on it, everyone's reasons for it are completely different, but those are two main components of the practice of yoga.
Yes, totally. Yes. And like I said, and it all depends what you're looking for. Some people, they still come to the practice and they just get involved with the asanas and they don't take it any further than that. But if you really want to practice yoga with all, the different, like I said, with all the different things that yoga have to offer, yes, you will understand that yoga is only the asanas. However, I want to make sure that a lot of people understand that yoga is not a religion. And I just want to make sure that everybody understands that, because I have people coming up to me asking me if, yoga is a religion, and they get offended. Like I said, when we start talking about the spiritual part of it. And like I said, I'm not here trying to change anybody's, faith. They say I have my own faith, but I just want to make sure that whatever your faith is, in yoga, we don't separate, we don't divide, we don't discriminate against any faith. We're all the same.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of yoga. Yoga is union. So spirituality and religion, I believe, is two different things.
For sure.
How you want to take it and how you want to pursue yoga is completely up to you. You are respected for who you are. And that's basically the message that we have in the yoga community.
Well, thank you very much for clarifying that. That's important. And I'm glad you clarified that. Now, I know there are many different modalities when it comes to yoga. Can you explain a bit about the modalities that modality? I don't know how many modalities you're certified in, which ones you're certified in, and why you chose to get certified in those specifically.
Well, there's, like you just mentioned, yes, there's plenty of yoga modalities. Right. I mean, there's so many different styles of yoga. I teach them all, quite honestly. Well, I shouldn't say all, but I teach, yin yoga, restorative, vinyasa, hatha. But one that I'm really hooked with, or I love, I'm just really passionate about teaching, is vinyasa. And vinyasa, for people that are not familiar with yoga, it's a style where we move, it's a flow. So think about it as like you're dancing per se, And the reason why I picked vinyasa, quite honestly, and I love vinyasa over the other modalities, is because of the fact that, I was a ballerina, like I mentioned before, and I just love movement. And in vinyasa, we're constantly moving. So you're moving from one pose to the next. So you're creating a sequence of movement, of flow, of asanas, and everything is designed for your body to just feel good. Right. So it's not like you're going to be standing and then you're going to go to the floor and then you're going to come up. So while you're standing, you're going through different asanas, you're moving, and you're moving with your breath. And that makes it more of a meditation per se. Okay. So while you're moving, you're like meditating. Yep. So for people, I always say for people, and including myself too, like for people who don't like to sit down and meditate, like sometimes I quite honestly, I can do it. Yeah. But there's some days, Brad, but honestly, I mean, my mind, and I've been doing it for a while, but there's some days where I try to sit down and I just have that monkey mind going on, and I just can find I can get my mind to be clear.
Yeah.
So in those days, that's when vinyasa really, really, comes handy, because while I'm moving and meditating, because you're constantly breathing. So every move is linked to your breath.
Okay.
So there's no way that while you're moving, you're thinking about, bills you gotta pay, about fight that you have with your husband, your wife.
Yeah.
So so that's why I love vinyasa. It's definitely, and you know what? Honestly, it's funny because people come to vinyasa thinking or not knowing what really vinyasa is all about.
Right.
And by the end of the class, they're like, wow, that was a workout. So you get a good workout.
Yeah.
But at the same time, so you're working your physical body and you're working your mind, and you have that body-mind connection, and you are doing, you're meditating. So you're getting everything. I mean, you're getting the best of,
the
both
whole package.
worlds,
Yeah.
Exactly. So, the whole package.
I'm very curious though, Paula. Now, I'm sure you get people that have come to you, and I'm sure you've heard people talk about that. Well, I'm not flexible enough. I can't do this. I don't have the flexibility. Now, with you and your background being a ballerina, I'm sure that has helped you immensely in terms of flexibility for some of the poses. I've seen a lot of the poses that you post on your Instagram account, and people must look at your page and go, how the hell is she doing that? Being a ballerina has definitely helped you with your flexibility. So what would you say to people who say to you, well, I'm not flexible enough, I can't do that? What would you say?
Well, quite honestly, the first thing I will say is that flexibility starts in the mind. Okay. If you think that you're not flexible and for that reason you can't do yoga, you got it totally backwards. The reason why you do yoga is because you're not flexible in the first place. And obviously yoga is going to help you get more flexible. Now, going back to what you just said, that as a ballerina, obviously I have that flexibility, and my background, whatever. I have to say, remember, I mean, like I mentioned, I started yoga at 41. I was the ballerina from the age of 6 to 16. So that was only 10 years. So from 16 to 41, I wasn't doing really anything, but just, some stretches, after, I used to go, to the gym, to obviously relax the muscles after a good workout. But that was basically it. I can show you some of the pictures when I first started yoga. And with that said, what I'm trying to say is basically that no, the flexibility that I gained through ballet didn't really do much for me as a yoga teacher or as a yoga practitioner, because I have met so many different people like myself who didn't even have a background in yoga, and they're doing some amazing poses. But once again, it's just because of having that body-mind connection. And I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but I just can't stress that enough. Once you have that body-mind connection and you start connecting to your breath is going to allow you to go deeper into the poses. And just to show you how, our breath is so important that, diaphragmatic breathing is the way kids or babies breathe when they're first born. And as we get older, we start taking shallow breath. We hold our breath, when we are in stressful situations, not knowing that through our breath, we can find our physical balance, our mental balance. Not only that, like I said before, your breath is going to help you get deeper into the poses. So that's why when you are in a yoga class, we're constantly repeating, take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out on the exhale. That's when you start taking the pose a little bit deeper. It's always on the exhale. Okay. So going back to your question, yes, I can probably say that it did help me a little bit. However, I believe that the flexibility that I have gained is flexibility that I have gained through the practice of yoga. I practice pretty much daily. Yeah. So for people that want to start doing yoga and they feel like they're not flexible enough, I always tell them no. I mean, it's like we have an internal joke in the yoga community. People say, you know what, I'm not flexible. That's why I don't do yoga. It's like me saying, I'm too dirty. I don't want to take a shower, so that's the reason. Yes,
Okay.
honestly, yes, I'm dirty, so I don't want to take a shower. So no, that's the reason. That's the reason why you do yoga. And
All
as
right.
long, honestly, Brett, as long as you have that open mind
Yeah.
that anything is possible, trust me, I've seen it with my own students. I have students that couldn't even touch their knees, and now they're touching their toes.
Right.
So trust me, it is possible.
So again, it always goes back to mindset. Truly.
Mindset, yes, mindset, connect to your breath.
Yeah.
I mean, find that body-mind connection, and I promise you. I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but honestly, it is the truth. You know, and I've seen so many people, not only myself, doing it, and it really, really helps. So for people that are listening, trust me. I mean, this practice will change you in so many different ways that you will never even think about.
What would you say has been the most rewarding part of this journey that you're on so far for you?
Oh my God, so many. But I will say knowing that I'm helping and changing people's perceptions of themselves, I mean, because like I say, where there's a lot of people that start practicing yoga and then they realize that, their whole perception of themselves have changed. They feel like now, there's an opportunity for them to be happy. There's, their bodies, they see their bodies now moving, with ease. Not only the flexibility, remember, just mobility. I mean, mobility is so important, especially as we get older.
Yeah.
So yes, and knowing that, that I'm helping people in so many different ways. I mean, I have so many beautiful experiences that I can share with you. People that, after class, just 1 or 2 classes, they have come up to me and they have said to me, thank you. You said something in class, that I really needed to hear today. Or, through my practice, because like I say, going through the practice and going deep, because when you're practicing yoga, it's like you're tapping back into your heart center.
Right.
And you're letting so many emotions out, emotions that you've been holding on for so long, and there's something about the practice that it just lets you go. It just releases, the emotions. And for me, helping people is just a beautiful thing. I think it's so rewarding. And I wouldn't change it for anything in the world, quite honestly.
Yeah, being able to have impact on other human beings, it's one of the most incredible feelings in the world to be able to give back in that way and have an impact through the work you're doing and helping people. It is one of the most rewarding things you can do in life, for sure.
Totally. It's so rewarding that, like I said, you can put a price tag on it. You cannot.
No, exactly. 100% agree with you. Paola, on the flip side of that, what has been the biggest challenge for you so far with this new path that you're on?
I guess it will be the same thing, trying to change people's perception of themselves. I guess when you're closed-minded, it's hard for you to see what the future can hold, and, I have people come into my class and they're just so close-minded. No, I'm too old. No, I'm too heavy. No, I'm not flexible. And you know what? I mean, like I said, I totally believe that you can help people as long as they want to be helped and as long as you let them help them. But on the other hand, I mean, if people already have that mentality that, the way they are is the way they are, then, that's just really hard because, I mean, I can center my energy in trying to work with somebody, changing, not only their physical aspect, if somebody had some kind of trauma and they're holding a lot of, like tight hips, or they have, muscles are aching, or let's say, they were into some kind of car accident, but right off the bat, they're mentally close to any kind of healing. I think I think that's probably one of the biggest challenge, trying to help older people and having the determination to help them, but at the same time people don't want to help themselves or not letting you help them.
Very
So
true. They
yes.
have to be open to it for sure. For sure.
Yes, definitely.
Who would you say then is your ideal client? Not what kind of business or what kind of person do you love to work with?
I love working with anyone. I mean, I really, yes, I mean, honestly, because you know what? I don't favorite people. I don't have like, I can say, you know what, I like man or woman or younger people over older people or vice versa.
Right.
To me, just anyone who wants to better themselves, anybody who is open to be helped, anyone who wants to pursue their dreams or pursue a healthier, more mindful lifestyle, So yes, I really can tell you, if there's anybody or any type of people that I would prefer to work with. I mean, anybody who's willing to be loved and to change and to be happier. That's the right type of people that I love to work with.
Yeah. Now, you say that your goal is to help people liberate their bodies through dynamic and therapeutic vinyasas. Why is this mission or goal so personally important to you?
Oh, God, some of your questions. Oh God, I mean, I just want people to understand that there's no limitations. Our limitations live in our mind. I want people to live their life to the fullest. I want people to just be happy. I want people to understand that there's no limitations. There's nothing they can do, I want them to understand that anything is possible. So yes, I mean, and like I said, once again, it starts in your mind and your body just follows, and that's personally how I started with my practice, when I started doing some of these asanas, that once again, for the most part, most people start with the asanas and then they start understanding what yoga is really all about.
Okay.
So for me, working on the asanas, because remember, when you are on a really difficult asana or pose, and then you start connecting to your breath and you start digging deeper into your inner self, your inner strength, that's when you start having that body-mind connection.
Right.
So that's what's going to allow you to find out who you really are. And knowing that, I mean, there's no limit as far as what we can accomplish in life, not only on the mat, but off the mat. Because remember, I mean, a lot of these asanas, yes, they're helping us have the right mindset. They're helping us connect to the breath. They're helping us to have that deeper connection with our inner self. But that doesn't stay only on the mat. That goes off the mat. When you go outside, when you go out into the real world, and then you start understanding that everything starts within you, okay? That you can't change the world, but you can change yourself. You can change your perspective, how you see the world and how you react towards the world. So to me, that is something that I'm just so passionate about. And and that's just my mission. My mission is to change people to live life to their fullest, there's no limitations, to the fullest capacity per se.
I absolutely love that mission. And you and I hit it off with all of this talk, because when we first spoke, before we even got on the podcast, when we first connected, all the talk about alignment and mindset, and it's so integral. And I mean, Paola, mindset has come up quite a bit here in our conversation today. So can you speak to how important a part mindset has played in helping you get to where you are today, and just how important it is in our daily routines and our successes?
Well, like you just said, yes, once again, for those of you who are listening, I'm probably tired of me saying mindset. Once again, yes, mindset. I mean, yes, I know it sounds like, oh my God, this woman mindset. Trust me. I mean, people always ask me, yes, I mean, you're over 40 and now you're doing this. And I'm like, don't just look at that. I mean, and yes, I mean, it is kind of an accomplishment. But to me, the accomplishment doesn't come only from the asanas that I'm doing. It's just knowing, Brad, that everything started in my mind. quite honest, when I used to look at the process, that now got me into understanding that mindset was the key point to where I'm at today. It's just mind blowing. And now I understand that there's no limitations. The limitations are only in my mind.
Right.
And if, in fact, I say, you know what, I can't do this, I know I'll be able to do it. And that's the mentality that we need to have. Obviously nothing happens overnight, but if you have the mindset, and I hear that all the time, Brett, honestly, I hear that from so many people that are successful in life, when you listen to them, they always tell you mindset. They even say that mindset is 80% of who we are. And it's crazy that as human beings, we just don't understand that.
Yeah.
As human beings, we always look at the physical world, okay, not understanding that if our mind changes, the physical world can change, because everything that we are up to today, that's what we thought many years ago. They always say, if you look at your body, if you look at your house, if you look at your relationships, that's what you have been up to this point. Meaning that, let's say, you are overweight, okay? So that's because you probably had the mentality that, it is fine for me to be overweight. It is fine for me to eat this type of food. But once you start changing that mindset, trust me, that's going to reflect on your physical body, okay? So for you to see what you want to see on the physical world, you have to start in the inner world, in your mind. And then I promise you, even think about this, Brett. And I'm sure you have read a lot of, about, people that have terminal illness.
Yes.
And quite honestly, I hate to talk about this because it's really touchy for me. I just lost my brother-in-law, 51 years old, in December, 2 months ago.
So sorry.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. It was just really hard. But one thing that I can tell you is my brother-in-law, may God bless him, for 5 years, he fought pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
Doctors couldn't believe that he fought for 5 years when, for the most part, and I'm sure there's a lot of people listening, they know somebody that's been fighting it, and fortunately they don't give you any more than 6 months, a year.
Right.
He fought it for 5 years. But you know what? He had the mindset of a warrior. He always used to say, I'm a warrior. So once again, it's all about the mindset.
Yeah.
Anybody that's been fighting some kind of disease for that long is because deep inside, they know that they're stronger than what's going on internally in their bodies. And if you think that, you know what, I'm gonna get rid of this cancer, which, it gotta be hard, and I'm not saying that it happens to everyone, and I don't want to be disrespectful to anyone. I know a lot of people that unfortunately couldn't fight it, and there's people that went into remission.
Yeah.
So that tells you that our minds are stronger than we think. So
absolutely.
Yes. Mindset once again.
Now, you've also said, Paola, that true freedom lies in having awareness and becoming the observer of your own thoughts, ultimately gifting us with the power of choice to navigate each day with conscious appreciation. So what advice would you give someone about how to become more self-aware and in alignment with their purpose? Well,
I think we all have to understand that we all have positive and negative thoughts, and that's just normal for every human being. I think sometimes we feel guilty, or we just want to disregard the negative thoughts. But I personally believe that whenever I have a negative thought, what I do is I try to think about why and where the thoughts are coming from. Okay. And from there, then I throw it in the garbage, throw it away. That's it, But first, I want to understand why is that negative thought coming to me. So like I said, why and where is it coming from? After I understand that, then I focus my attention on the positive thoughts. I totally believe, and I'm sure, based on the conversations that me and you had before, remember, when we center with attention, expands, it
Right.
grows. So if you center your attention to positive thoughts, those positive thoughts are going to grow, manifest. So I believe that, yes, I mean, as normal as it is to have positive and negative thoughts, you definitely have to observe, your thoughts and just give, love to the positive, I mean, I personally think that, affirmations are great,
Yeah.
and they really help. So for everyone who is going through any kind of struggle, which we all, obviously at some point have gone through different struggles in life.
Yeah.
I always say, just try to think positive, try to let go of anything that doesn't serve you and just focus your attention in what you want to, manifest,
Yeah.
see, enjoy, live in your life.
Paula, has spirituality and this mindset, this positive mindset and this mind, body, soul connection, has this always been part of who you are in your life, or has this really just come to fruition as a result of your journey into the yoga world?
Well, I mean, spirituality has always been definitely part of my life
Okay.
ever since I was a kid.
Okay.
However, through the practice of yoga, I have come to understand that I'm not just the physical body. And this physical body, obviously, let's put it this way. I believe, and I understood that more through the practice of yoga. I believe that we are a soul with a body, not a body with a soul. Okay.
Very interesting perspective.
Yes, because you know what? I mean, I want to believe that the reason why we have a physical body is because that way we can touch, we can feel each other, we can have that human connection. And I believe that, and I hope to God, and I'm not trying to be too spiritual in here or to talk about religion or anything like that, but I believe one day, once we are gone from this physical planet, we're going to go somewhere without our skin. So we just leave the skin in here. It's like taking your clothes off, leaving the skin here, your body, and just going through a different dimension. A dimension, obviously, where we can serve, and we can be all together and just be free of pain, free of any. Oh my God. How can I say that? Oh my God, that's a tough question.
The restrictions of the physical world.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. Yes. So yeah. So and I understood through the practice of yoga that yes, we are one. So we are all connected, and we're connected to the universe. We're connected with everything, just because we're energy. And to me, that's just so important, knowing that I'm energy and I can vibrate at the same level of the universe. That's just one, we're all united.
Yeah.
So for you to think that, you are not connected, I believe is kind of naive,
Right.
because we're all part of an incredible creation. Like I said, if you want to call it God, universe, but yes, we are part of this divine creation. And that I only understood through the practice of yoga.
Now, Paula, to date, what would you say is your biggest high or your greatest win?
Oh, my biggest high or my biggest win. Oh, God. Oh, my God, Brad, you're killing me here.
I like to make my guests
God. Yeah, no, it's not only that. I mean, the problem with me is that I can talk forever. So I don't have like just one answer. Oh God, to me, it's just I guess my family, my community, connecting to community that shares the same values, who, a community that is in alignment with my purpose in life. And then of course, my family to me is everything. So just having my family love and support, and me being able to manage what I love doing, and sharing that love with the family and friends and my community. I think, yes, that's probably my biggest achievement.
What do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful?
Do you really want to have an answer for that again? Don't you think I gave you that answer already?
Mindset,
my love. Mindset, my love. Yes, that's it. I mean, okay. I know it sounds crazy, but
no,
that's
it's true. Yeah, yep.
It's just mindset. If I want people to get something out of this,
mindset
interview. Yes, exactly. Yes, just mindset. Change your mindset. You'll change your life. And if they don't want to hear from me, I mean, listen to so many people that are just successful. I mean, Oprah Winfrey. I mean, wow. I mean, like so many people I can even think, Jay Shetty, there's so many people, they always talk about that,
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody will tell you that it's mindset.
Speaking of success, Paula, how do you define the word success? What does that word mean to you?
Whoa. Success, I have to say that success is different for everyone. So what success is to me, probably it doesn't mean anything to somebody else. It has nothing to do with somebody else. But to me is just waking up every morning, doing what I love, so knowing that I can do what I love, creating impact on other people's life, inspiring other people to follow their dreams, to understand that, that they can just do anything they want to do, that their present situation doesn't determine their future. To me, that's just success, being with my family, spending time with my family. I'm really family oriented, I'm all about my family. So like I said, my family and my community, to me, that's successful. I mean, I may not make millions of dollars. And for, like I said, for some people, maybe some people look at me and they think she's not successful. But to me, just like I said, doing what I love, doing yoga every day, sharing my love and my passion with, others, and spreading the love and helping other people and spending time with my family. Wow, to me, that's definitely success.
Beautifully said. What would you say, Paola, is one of the most important things you've learned in your life? And what was your life like before learning it? And what was your life like after you learned it?
Yes, I guess probably mindset again.
I knew it.
Yes, because before I started doing yoga, I didn't have that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I thought of me as being limited, having, restrictions or limitations. And now, obviously, like I said, once I learned that mindset and knowing that it's up to me, not up to anyone else, what I can do and can do with my body, my mind, knowing that everything starts within me, knowing that, that I can be at peace whenever I want to, that even other people can get me upset, which I'm not going to say that happens all the time, because trust me, I'm still working on it. But knowing that if I get upset, it's because I'm giving somebody else the power. I'm already losing the power, because anything that happens within me, I should have the control and the power to control. And everything that is external, obviously, is different. I can control what's going on outside in the world, or, because obviously it's external, but what's going inside of me, I totally have full power and full control of it. So once again, it's the mindset. So it's not easy. When I talk to some of my friends and I tell them about this, they're like, oh my God, you're being brainwashed for too long, you're crazy, or, you're from, you went to another world, another planet and came back. I'm like, no, I honestly discover the power within me.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what I want people to understand, because just like I learned that, anybody can learn it. So, and once you learn that, I think that's just more powerful than anything else in the world.
Well, your whole world will change.
Totally. Yes. And like I said, once you change your perspective, there's a saying, once you change the perspective, that everything changes.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
it starts within you. So, yes. So mindset, my dear.
I love it.
Yes.
A lesson in mindset today for sure.
Yes, exactly. Paola mindset, 100.
Paola, what is your personal motto?
A personal? What do you mean like that? Like
somebody? No. What words do you live by? Like, what is your saying that you live by? Something like that. Something to that effect. Something that really resonates with you, that you live your life by those words. Like, this is the way to think.
Wow. Ooh, you got me on that one.
Like, my father always said to me, what's meant for you won't go by you. That's a motto. That's something you live by.
Yeah.
Right? Something like that. Something to that effect.
Well, I will say one of them will be probably, yes, it's never too late to follow your passion.
Yeah.
That will be one. And the other one that I always tell my kids is treat others the way you want to be treated. So yes, I will say probably those two.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Paola, who in your life has had the biggest impact on you and why?
Who in my life had the biggest impact? Oh God, I will say I have to go back to, I will say my parents, my grandparents.
Yeah.
I guess understanding that, that we have to love and respect others. I couldn't say just one person.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the biggest impact in my life, and I hope that's the biggest impact that I can create in other people, besides the mindset, is just love and respect others. I believe that you don't have to probably love everyone, because sometimes it's kind of hard, and we got to be real. But just respect. I believe that respect takes, will take you far in life,
Yeah.
Respecting others to me is sometimes it's even more important than loving somebody,
Right. Mm-hmm.
You don't have to love everyone, but respect everyone. We all have a right to be in this world. We all have a right to be who we want to be, as long as we don't hurt other people.
Yeah.
So my grandfather used to say all the time, live and let others live. Or I don't remember exactly how that goes in English.
Live and let live.
Exactly. So yes, that by far is, to me, is something that I always have that in mind. I don't care what you do, who you are, as long as you don't hurt other people, that's fine. Live your life. And if that's what makes you happy, by all means, just do it.
Love it. What does the word empowerment mean to you?
Empowerment. Oh, wow. Well, I guess that there's different ways to, to describe the word. I guess you can find empowerment by self-exploration, or you can get empowered by somebody else, But at the end of the day, I believe that the word itself represents confidence. I will say inner strength and determination. Yes, I will say probably, I'm sure there's other.
But that's what it means to you.
But that's what it means to me. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do a little rapid fire section here. So the next grouping of questions will just be 2, 3, 4-word answers. Okay. If you were writing your autobiography, what would the title be?
Too late to follow your passion.
Love it. What makes you smile?
Oh my God. Once again, that's going to sound cliche, but I will say the small things in life, just knowing that my kids are happy.
Yeah.
Just, helping other people too, like when somebody comes to my class and at the end of the class, they say, wow, you said something that really got to me, or, thank you for helping me with, this asana I was practicing for the longest time, and, I nailed it today, or, when you give a kid, a gift, or, I don't know, the small little things in life, to me, those are things that are just priceless, and things that come from the heart. Anything that comes from the heart really makes me smile and makes me happy.
How would you describe yourself in one word?
Ooh, me. Oh, God. Compassionate. I guess compassionate.
Okay. What would your family and friends list as a couple of your best characteristics?
Ooh. That would be, I will have to ask them, but I mean, I always, when I talk to them, I mean, some of the things that they have said to me, they feel that I'm kind, that I'm loving. One that is not probably too good is that I'm a clean freak. I'm friendly, I'm loyal, I'm really
Okay.
loyal. Yeah, I'm trustworthy.
If you could teach the world one thing, what would that one thing be?
Tolerance and respect. Yes,
What,
we need to have more tolerance and respect in
for
the world.
sure. What's one thing you want but cannot buy with money?
I have to say that I've been blessed. I mean, obviously, we always, as human beings, we can always want more, but I've been blessed with everything I need. So I really don't need anything. But if there's something that I want more of, that I know money can buy, it will be perfect health for every living thing in the world, obviously, including my family, my friends, my community, and God, stop suffering in the world.
Yeah, I love that. That's brilliant. If you could change one thing about the world, what would you change?
Oh, for every kid in the world to have a loving family, food on the table, just to be happy.
What is one of your favorite quotes?
By Gandhi. My favorite quote is, "Be the change you want to see in the world."
Love it. That's a great quote. I love that.
I love that one. Yes.
That concludes our rapid fire section. Now back to our regularly scheduled program.
No. Did I do okay?
You did awesome. You did very well. You did very well.
Okay, I'm good. I'm glad.
Paola, if you had the opportunity to sit down and have a 1-hour conversation with one woman, any woman in the world, who would it be and why?
Oh my God, Oprah Winfrey. I think that woman is incredible, because when you think about what Oprah Winfrey has accomplished, it's just mind blowing. And once again, it's because of her mindset.
Yeah.
She didn't let her past, her childhood, which we pretty much everyone, who follows and know of Oprah Winfrey knows that she had a really tough childhood. She was, sexually molested. She come from a broken family. I mean, she went through so many struggles in life, and she didn't let any of that define her future. And the impact that Oprah Winfrey has created in the world, I think it's just beautiful, not only for women, but for any human being in the world. So yes, I really have a lot of respect and I really admire Oprah Winfrey.
What is your why?
My why is love, spread love, and obviously starts with loving yourself. So you have more love towards your family, towards anyone you meet, towards the world, towards animals, Mother Nature. Love is my why.
What is an unexpected blessing or occurrence in your life that you're grateful for?
Oh my God. When I think about unexpected blessings, I can stop thinking about my son, because my son, honestly, I mean, he always makes fun of me. And because, when obviously he find out that I was not looking to get pregnant, so now he's not, he tells me, he's like, "So mom, I a mistake." I'm like, "No, you were the biggest, the biggest and most beautiful mistake ever." But I'm telling you, I was yeah, my biggest blessing, my son, because obviously I was not planning on getting pregnant. And I got pregnant. But then with that said, so if my kids hear this, I want them to know I still have 3 other girls that I love with all my heart.
Yeah.
As you know, I'm a mother of 4.
Yes.
But, the other ones we were planned, but my son was not planned. So.
Okay. If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
To follow my heart, to do what lights my heart on fire, to believe in myself, because to me that's more powerful than anyone else believing in you. So I believe that when we are younger or personally, when I was younger, I didn't believe in myself that much. And trust me, even that I'm almost 48, I mean, there's still part of me. I'm not going to lie to you. And I'm not going to tell you that I have sometimes I have self-doubt, but believing in yourself, following your heart, to me is extremely important. And I always tell my kids that. I always tell them, just follow your heart. Do what makes you happy. Once again, as long as you don't hurt other human being or other human living thing, you're fine. Just believe in yourself, follow your heart, and do what makes you happy, and then you'll be successful. And yes, that's it.
Great advice. I love it. Lastly, Paula, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, so your community, your people, your family, your friends, your corner of the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like? What would you tell them? What would you say? What words of wisdom would you impart?
Well, like I just said, believe in yourself, believe in the power of your mind, because your mind can serve you or your mind can destroy you. Never underestimate the difference you can make in the life of others. Today, you can be the reason somebody feels happy, even for a minute. So just spread love, kindness. And like Martin Luther King said once, everyone can be great because anyone can serve. I think that's incredible. That's so powerful. And stealing words from Albert Einstein, he also said, only a life lived in the service of others is worth living. So yeah, that's probably what I would say to the world, to my community, to my family.
Beautifully said. I love it. Paula, thank you so much for taking the time to be here and share your journey and your story and your about mindsets and all of it. I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. You are a true inspiration, a truly beautiful human. I love what you're all about. I love your mindset. I love your energy, your vibe, everything. This has been such a wonderful conversation, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time to be here. And I am so honored and happy to have you as a member of the Empowerography community. So thank you for spending this time with me today and sharing your insights and wisdom.
Oh my God, Brad, thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me be part of this beautiful community. Honestly, I just want everyone who's listening to know that, never underestimate who you are. Just keep following your dreams. I mean, we have so much potential that sometimes we're not even aware of. And the minute that we understand that, trust me, everything is possible. And thank you so much for having me. I'm just so honored. You're such a beautiful soul. I'm so happy that we have connected. And I just can't wait for, to create a bigger impact in the world, and I know me and you together, we can do this and we can create a bigger community. Thank you so much.
My pleasure and my honor, Paula. Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography podcast. Today, my guest has been Paola Pietri. She is a certified yoga teacher based in Florida. Thank you so much, Paola. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day.
You as well, sweetheart. Have a great day. Thank you so much again.
Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca and follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.